Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about Power Rangers Cosmic Fury, the very last season series of like the good old Power Rangers, the Saban franchise Power Rangers. And when I say Saban Power Rangers, I mean everything from the Fox Kids era to the Disney to the Nickelodeon, Hasbro. I'm just combining it all in one. Now, if I'm talking specifically about the Saban era Power Rangers, then I would say Saban era, meaning simply Fox Kids and that of Nickelodeon. And so, yeah, it has finally come to an end. What, 25, 30 years? The insanity of it all. I thought it was going to go on forever, but no. Hasbro and Netflix want to be punks and everything and create their own thing, which I'm so worried about. And the reason why I'm worried, because it's kind of like, okay, they're stepping away from what makes Power Rangers Power Rangers. They're stepping away from the Sentai stuff. And it's kind of like this season was their attempt to show us a little bit, give us a little bit of a taste of what they will probably do when creating their own stuff. Not fully, because they want to go in a completely different direction. But this is just like a taste of what the old version of Power Rangers would look like. And well, it feels weird. Like they created their own suits. They created some of their own monsters, hench people, foot soldiers. And it looks so artificial, like I'm still not liking the suits. They look better when they're moving around, but they still look god awful. And we've had American Power Ranger suits before. I don't understand how they can drop the ball on this. And as for like the hench people, they look hideous. And I mean hideous and everything. And not only that, but the fight choreography is lame this season. It's like there was no effort put into it. Basically, all they do is stagger around. They have their weapons. They'll throw a few punches and hit people with their weapons, and they barely throw kicks, and they don't really do flips. They're not even really doing martial arts, to tell you the truth. The fight choreography looks like a watered down version of the Alien Rangers and Mighty Morphin Season 3 fight sequence when they used to create their own, but it looks watered down from that of the Mighty Morphin and the Alien Ranger season. And it's just like there was no effort put whatsoever in the fight choreography. Not only that, but I've noticed something with this season. Why are there so few fights? Basically, the Rangers do what they always do. They're in the civilian stuff. Then all of a sudden they will morph, and then their fight sequence will only take less than a minute, and they only fight with their weapons in their hand. There's never no hand-to-hand combat in everything, which is bizarre. Now, I know fans complained about Dino Fury, about how they never had no Pacific weapons, and Simon Bennett said he was going to fix that for Cosmic Fury. But by fixing it, it's every time they morph, they just happen to have their weapons in their hand and happen to fight with them. It's like, can't they just throw a punch without their weapon and everything? Like, I don't need to see their weapons every time they morph. And not only that, but like I said, the fight sequences are very small in scale. They're not big, they're not elaborate, except for that opener. The opener was good in the first episode, but it's less than a minute of fighting. Then all of a sudden they call their Zords, and I've noticed there's more Zord action this season than there is hand-to-hand combat. It's like they're constantly scrambling to get to their Zord because, I wonder why. Oh, that's why. That's because that's the Sentai footage and everything to save them some money and time. So, with that said, these people should be able to realize that they needed the suits from that one Sentai series so that they can use the Sentai footage for the fight sequences so they can actually look decent and save some money. And, coming into this season, I was curious and stuff because, I've seen some people say it's not good. I've seen some people say it's great. I've seen some people praise Simon Bennett. Now, I'm going to say this right here, right now. I am not here to attack Simon Bennett. That man has been through a lot since taking up Power Rangers. And most likely, I bet he will never try to work on Power Rangers again if given the opportunity. And so I wish him the best luck because, like I said, he does create a lot of dramas and stuff. Hopefully, he'll get some more work after this, creating another show in New Zealand. With that said, it's just like I said with Dino Fury. I don't think he's the right fit for Power Rangers and stuff. He doesn't seem to get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't seem to understand what makes Power Rangers so special. He'll probably watch a couple of seasons from the earlier days, like Mighty Morphin or something like that. But other than that, he doesn't seem to get how Power Rangers has evolved and everything, plus the restrictions of that of the studio. And I think I read somewhere that he finds Sentai's, I forgot what he said, something like okay, I know fans say he don't respect the Sentai or something like that. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was something like, I think he found it silly or something like that. I'm okay with that because the Sentai stuff is silly and everything. Even former Power Rangers like John Yon Bosch has literally said it's some weird, silly stuff. So I'm okay with that. But what I'm not okay with is not understanding the fundamentals of what makes a great action series, superhero series, the way it is in the form of Power Rangers. And I just seriously don't think he gets it. Like I've always said this before. In Dino Fury, it felt like a drama that just so happened to have Power Rangers in it. Like, that's what it felt like. You know, he tried to make it epic on a scale, you know what I'm saying? And he tried to do this here again, but it feels more like, okay, this is going to sound weird. Okay, so Power Rangers is a American adaptation of Japanese Sentai. Power Rangers Cosmic Fury feels like somebody from another country trying to adapt Power Rangers and make it into the Sentai and adapt it once again to like their country. Like, it feels different. It feels so artificial, you know what I'm saying? It's like another country is trying to adapt Power Rangers while adapting the Sentai as well. And it's just not working. It's an artificial feel to this season and everything. It feels so bleak because of the simple fact that it's like, I'm watching this. And by the way, yeah, I'm still not getting Netflix. I don't do Netflix. I just decided to go to my cousin's place. And I finally got to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender in Wednesday. And I got some feelings about those shows. Wednesday, I'm rock and rolling too. Avatar, I'm conflicted. Anyway. Not too conflicted, but just conflicted. Not necessarily in a bad or good way, but I'm just conflicted, you know what I'm saying? And so like as I'm watching Cosmic Fury, I've noticed something. Now, they said that because they only get 10 episodes, and you know, before watching this, I already know what happened in the season. I know that Ollie, the actor, was barely there because he was filming like a movie and they turned him evil. I know some of the behind the scenes drama about why Zato is no longer the white Ghost Ranger, because they thought it would be offensive if a black man would be a white ranger, but yet we had a black woman be a white ranger in Ninja Steel. So apparently somebody's not doing their research. And I know Netflix wanted 20 eps and Hasbro only wanted 10 because Hasbro sucks right now. But like, you know, I don't think Hasbro is going to keep Power Rangers. I just don't believe that. I don't believe for a second they're going to keep Power Rangers, at least as a show. They might keep the toy merch if they can get the quality back up. But if they don't, because all the complaints that some fans just complain a little too much when it comes to the toys. But when things are totally messed up and wrong colors, I can understand the complaints there. I don't think they're going to keep Power Rangers past 5 years. I don't believe. Heck, I don't think they're going to keep it past 3. But anyway. So I know that Hasbro only wanted 10 and Netflix only wanted 20. And I know that Simon said, you know, there's not going to be no solo episodes. They're going to downplay the comedy. And they're just going to focus on like getting to the point of the season and the conflicts and stuff like that. And with that said, as I'm watching this, It's like a whole lot of stuff is happening, but nothing is actually happening. I truly believe, and I hate Ninja Steel. I hate Ninja Steel. I hate Samurai. But I'll say this. Those seasons look like a masterpiece compared to this, only because nothing really is going on this season. And I mean a whole lot of nothing. He tried to make it big and epic in scale, because this is the finale of like the series. But this season feels like, oh, the season finale of In Space. Those last two episodes, the two-parter. But in that two-part of In Space, a whole lot more happened than what happened in these 10 episodes. And I mean, barely anything happens and stuff. It's like, okay, they did that big epic battle, Morphin Masters get caught, then they lose their Zords and powers, and then they need they need new Zords and everything, then they get new powers, and it's like, okay, fine. Like the first 3 episodes were all right, just all right, not great or nothing like that. And because they was all right, because they was directed by Michael Hurst, and Michael Hurst was Aeolus on Hercules: The Legendary Journeys. And that man has stepped away from acting to do some directing over the years, and he is phenomenal. And he's a phenomenal actor and stuff. He was in Ninja Storm as the shark guy. So anyways, I've noticed episodes that are directed by him turn out to be a bit more better. The acting's better, the plot's better, the pacing's better. But when they're not directed by him, it goes back into lacking, and the acting goes back to being bad and all kind of other stuff. But still, even with all that said, it's like, you know, after they get their new powers and find out Ollie is evil, and then they lose Zato, and then they get Zato back, it's like nothing really happens. It's like, oh, they find out they can teleport, like, you know, their station thing, and then they find out they can fly in space. Then they have to fix the engine. Then all of a sudden there's an alien on the planet who's trying to eat them and all kind of other crap. And then, you know, like, they're back in the Zords again. And it's just like, and then the whole Lord Zed thing is just kind of like, are they even truly really trying to stop this dude? It doesn't feel like it. It's like they're going on random missions that, yes, have to advance the plot, but not in a way that feels like a series finale. These seem like filler episodes and everything, which is weird because they're actually doing crap, but it just feels like mindless filler. And it's just weird. Like, honest to God, it feels like nothing is happening. And it always feels like something's just repeating itself. Oh, they have Zato. Oh, they lost Zato. Oh, Zato's back. Oh, Zato's dying again. Oh, they, you know, in their little space station thing, whatever you call it, and then, oh, something's wrong with it, or oh, we have to go here, and oh, you know, these people are taken captive, and oh, we have to rescue them, but they don't even show them rescuing the people, except for one episode. So, cause it's kind of like this. Okay. Because they ran out of old Power Ranger suits? What the heck happened with Super Mega Force? Did they just throw those costumes away? Saban probably did, knowing him. But like, they had to have some suits on hand, right? And this would have been the perfect time for them to bust out some old suits, see different like cities and planets of Rangers fighting the bad guys, and probably getting their butts captured. They don't have to speak, just put some stunt people in there like they did in Space Finale, but they don't do this here. And so I was wondering, we know Power Rangers are still around. Where the heck are they? Why is it only these group of Power Rangers that has to save the day? I know it's their season and everything, but they keep establishing things like this with other Rangers. Well, all the Rangers got their butts kicked and got captured. I mean, tell me, you made them into punks to where they can't fight and got their butts whooped and all got captured? Like, no, man, that's not the way you end a series, by having some of the greatest Power Rangers of all time get their butts kicked by Sentinels and these goofy looking monsters you created. Like, come on now. Come on now. Like, come on, man. Like, you want me to believe that? And so then it's like, okay, the Rangers are off in outer space and they come back to the planet. Oh, planet Earth has been conquered by Lord Zed. We don't even get to see that happen. He's conquered this planet. We don't get to see that. He's conquered another solar system. We don't get to see that. And he conquered Earth. We don't get to see that. But then all of a sudden, here comes Amelia's dad. And like, he's talking about, oh, there's a resistance and this and that and help us. And so they help, but you don't see them fight, really. You see the dad do a couple of moves, and that's about it. And then all of a sudden, the people of Earth actually got rescued off screen. And I'm just kind of like, so you can't even show the people getting really rescued and everything? You have to do it off screen? Like, what the heck is that crap? Like, where is your budget this season? Where is it? And it really frustrated me and stuff. And Lord Zed is supposed to be at his most evil, because that's what they resurrected him from. But this Lord Zed feels a lot like season 3 Lord Zed. We see him sipping on some drink and everything. We see him cracking a joke here and there. We'll see him say or do something mean, but that's about it. And I get why Lord Zed can't fight, because the suit is very restrictive, because they said. But the thing about Void Knight is this. I'm all like, why is that dude always in his civilian clothes? And it's like, oh, because his suit got damaged in the season 2 of Dino Fury. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And so I'm all like, you know what happens when that happens? You rebuild the freaking suit. So where is the budget going to? And if you don't do that, make him an actual ranger or something like that. Like, make him the Zenith Ranger or the Ghost Ranger or just something, or the Orange Ranger. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's already been established and stuff. Now, I'm just, and in the way they got rid of Lord Zed by reversing that machine, because that hench lady betrayed him and everything. And so, like, after that double cross, they reversed the Z-Wave and everything. And because, that was kind of cool what Lord Zed was going to do the whole reversing the Z-Wave to get rid of, like, the Power Rangers and the power, all this stuff. That would have been cool. But it would have been cool if they would have actually appeared like they did in Super Mega Force. But anyways, but doing that whole Rita thing and her whining at him and keeping him in that time loop thing, like, that's how you got rid of that man. Like, seriously, that's how you got rid. Not only did you not destroy him, but that's how you conquer him, defeat him. Like, come on, man. And instead of doing dumb crap like that, they could have stopped having all these filler type episodes. Like, did we really need that rock band episode? Seriously, did we really need that? And so, like, I'm glad they minimized the humor in this, because I hate the humor so much. But then every time they add the humor, it's always the silliest, over-the-top, dumb thing ever. Like J-Borg and that lady, whatever her name is. The first time we see them, they're putting their faces in their food and eating it like that without their hands or utensils. And I'm just like, I can understand if J-Borg does that because she's an android. But what's that woman human excuse? Like, what's her excuse for doing that? It's just stupidity. And like I said before, they minimized the humor. They gave Amelia's dad like a Hawaiian shirt the first time, which was dumb and stupid. Then, like, oh, where's his wife? Recast her if she can't come. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get around that. And the Rangers, sometimes they'll say something silly, like when Ion called his weapon Chompy and stuff. But other than that, they didn't make him a buffoon like they did in Dino Fury, and thank God for that. But it's like, I understand they have to have a requirement of humor in the show, because, Saban is still an executive producer, and that means he's still putting money in. He gets to have a little tidbits of here and there of how things should go, but he don't get to control stuff. But just because you add humor don't mean it has to be dumb humor, silly slapstick humor, the kind that makes people call Power Rangers a kid's show. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can have mature humor like other seasons did, like Time Force and stuff. And that's because the people creating Dino Fury and Cosmic Fury don't get Power Rangers. I remember I was watching Kat and Nakia. And they had some woman on there, I forget her name, but she was tasked with creating the Bible of Power Rangers. I think Saban had her do it when he had took over the company again. And she confessed she never watched Power Rangers. So she had to go back and watch and figure out what makes Power Rangers tick. And I truly believe all that woman did was watch Mighty Morphin. I truly believe that. Because the humor is slapstick that the other people have to follow and stuff, the showrunners and stuff. You see the Rangers when they're talking, they're constantly doing hand poses and all this other stuff. I'm just like, that's so Mighty Morphin. They don't do that no more. Like, you don't do that. Like, that's so old school, you know what I'm saying? And they did that here, and constantly tilting their head when they're talking in their helmets and this and that. But like other stuff that I see that was pointless, like, okay, I was trying to wonder, why is Mick, Heckle, and Billy even in this season? Like, it's cool that David Yost came back after all that happened to him, right? But here's my thing with that. Instead of having him in his Mighty Morphin outfit, give him one of the Cosmic Fury outfits and let him have a Tommy role similar to that of Dino Charge. No, Dino Thunder. That would have been cool. Because I was wondering, why is Billy here? Oh, he's the mechanic. He's not even really a mentor. He's just the mechanic, the engineer. But isn't Sauron supposed to be that? So why you have two of them? They could have made him a mentor. And he doesn't really mentor that much. He mentions stuff that happens in his season, but there's only one time he actually mentored, and that was like right before he left. And so it was kind of awkward always seeing him fight with his Mighty Morphin powers and stuff alongside them in their different costumes. But it was still nice to see. It's just, why couldn't they make him the Zenith Ranger, or make him a Purple Ranger, or make him the Orange Ranger? Like something, you know what I'm saying? Like how Tommy was the Black Ranger and Dino Thunder. It was cool to finally see, what is it, the Terran Ranger, what is it, from Heckle? That was cool, because we never got to see that. So I will give that a pass, even though it was weird just randomly bringing him into one episode, because like, dude, you're from a different dimension. What the heck? You know what I'm saying? And you couldn't bring your teammates with you, especially the ones that actually live in New Zealand. And so, like, and that's another thing. Why didn't they get some of the people who still live in New Zealand to make cameos in the prison camps or something, you know? Anyways, so it was random just seeing him there, but it was even more random having Mechanic show up. And I don't like Mechanic. I like the actor, but I just don't like the character. And they had him back in his Ninja Steel outfit because the Morphin Masters restored it, but it's just kind of like, okay, if you really want to bring this dude back, give him a Cosmic Fury suit. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't make no sense for all the Rangers to pilot like random Zords. You have Zeta, who's a Zenith Ranger, but he's always piloting a purple Zord and everything. And then you have Mechanic, who's piloting a pink Zord and everything. And he's red. So I'm just kind of like, you know, color coordinate. Now, the opening, like I said, was really boss, man. Like, I really love that. That was big on the epic scale, and that must have been where the budget went and stuff. Because, like, we didn't have no other battle that big and epic on scale. And it's like, you know, they had to get rid of the Morphin Masters. I understand that, you know, to progress the story along, because, you know, you have, like, these Rangers who don't really know nothing about space except for Ion, and they having to, like, you know, save the universe. But we don't even get to see them in space that much. Now, I do like how they did get a bit edgy and stuff, like the whole Harvey in his arm, you know what I'm saying? Like the Morphin Master gave him the staff, and like, you know, like he didn't know what was going to happen when he put it in that altar. And when he did use it, of course, it blasted his arm off. The fact that they had an armless dude was something huge in Power Rangers, you know? But they don't really dwell on it because there's no solo episodes. They try to give a little bit of him upset about his arm, but he's more upset that he can't play a guitar than actually losing his freaking arm. I don't get that. Then he's like, oh, this arm is cool and everything. I'm just like, nah, man, if you're gonna go there, you go there and everything. And, you know, I do like how Izzy is concerned about Fern, you know, sneaking on board and being on these alien planets. A lot of people kept saying, oh, it got on their nerves. But no, Fern is human. She doesn't have no powers. So, you know, I like how she was so concerned. And since there are no solo episodes, you had to give her to do something. You know what I'm saying? Now, it was cool that Fern got to be a Power Ranger and an additional Ranger and the very first Orange Ranger and stuff. However, this is when I say they should have just gave it to Billy or like somebody else, you know what I'm saying? Because what's the point in bringing David Yost back full time or partially full time if he wasn't really going to do anything with it? Now, how and she became the Orange Ranger was just kind of weird and bizarre. You know, they could have wrote that so much stronger than what they did. And I wish to God they would have, because now it just seems like, because this is the problem with Fern getting her powers and the Zords in general. The Zords are autonomous. They are basically alive. We haven't really seen that since like Wild Force and stuff. But it's weird that they have cop. Oh no, we've seen that before in other seasons. But Wild Force is the only one I can really think of that's like that. But they have cockpits and everything, which is weird because most living Zords don't have that. But hey, whatever. I can I can give it a pass. But the problem is, it seems like these Zords just let anybody just sit up in them and do whatever. Like the bad guys about to get that Dragon Zord and everything until the good guys came in and got it. And so I just wish there was more stronger writing with, how they got their Zords and why the Zords allowed them to use them and stuff like that. And also when Billy tapped into the morphing grid and created new powers and stuff, like it's just kind of random. I guess it's kind of like Mighty Morphin. Oh, you have a coin. Okay, you can morph. So yeah, I guess I can get that a pass. I just wish the writing was a bit stronger other than her, taking, a morpher and trying to rescue Soan on her own, and then somehow the morpher interacted with Soan and created like a dinosaur in her image. You know what I'm saying? And her weapon just doesn't look all that impressive, but I am happy to have an Orange Ranger and stuff. And that is cool that Izzy gets to hang with her girlfriend and, all this other stuff. And of course, she's able to pilot a Zord because, it's instant knowledge. But here it's not instant knowledge. Here it's shown that you have to learn how to use your Zords. It just isn't instantaneous. It's not instant because these Zords don't go with their themed costumes and everything, And so I don't understand how she was able to pilot one so quickly and stuff, It completely escaped my mind that there was no Blue Rangers entire season other than a Blue Evil Ranger. Making him evil was cool because who doesn't love an evil Ranger? Only problem is, his acting got a whole lot better as evil, but once he turned good again, his acting kind of just went sour again. But his acting was so good as evil Ollie and stuff. But the problem I have with evil Ollie is he's not that evil. I've seen some boss level evil Rangers back in the day, from the Thunder Rangers to the Green Ranger to the White Dino Ranger. They were brutal and everything. Because, the Sentai was written for them to be brutal. Here, he just seems watered down. Still evil, but just watered down. And that doesn't really got to me. And as for him not being there, either do this. Either write his character off and say he got captured. Or if you're going to turn him evil, just put the stunt dude in the suit and have him voice stuff wherever he is and send the audio and everything. Like they used to do in other shows and stuff. Like, what was that? Batman Beyond. When they recast Barbara Gordon, they just had a different actress film in a completely different state and send her stuff in. They could have done that here. Because Ollie doesn't have to be unmorphed, you know what I'm saying? He could have been morphed the entire time. And so, that's how they could have got around that. Now, his suit is ugly. Period. That suit is ugly. That evil blue suit is ugly. And if this is what they're creating, please let the Netflix show be good. It's just kind of they don't get it, man. That's an ugly suit. But you know what? Like I said before, they could have brought in Amelia's dad or Billy and made them the new Blue Ranger for Cosmic Fury or something. Now, in terms of the rest of the cast, man, their acting got so much better this season, and thank God. Because sometimes in Dino Fury, it was hit or miss. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was really hit or miss sometimes. But here, their acting really leveled up. And that is a good thing. Especially the actress who plays Amelia. Because, she took on the new responsibility of being, like, the Red Ranger and stuff. And like, before I get into that, and before I get into the whole Zato thing, like, first, point something out. I love female empowerment. I stated that before. Heck, for the Women's History Month, I dedicated to like a lot of female shows and movies and characters and stuff like that. I love Xena. I love Cleopatra 2525. I love Dark Angel, shows like that. I am down for female empowerment, and I am glad for the whole Amelia being the Red Ranger. I'll get into that a little bit later. However, one thing that's bothering me about modern Hollywood is that they always check things off a list. And they make it so apparent. Like, I'm down for female empowerment, but only if it's real female empowerment. I've noticed when they're in their little spaceship, only the females operate the spaceship. All the men just stand around in the background talking or doing nothing and stuff. See, when they purposely wrote all the females operating the space station or spaceship and the controls and everything, that feels forced. That is literally something that's literally just planned to show, hey, look at this female empowerment. Let's check this off the list and everything. That is not real female empowerment and everything. It's like in space, you had the guys and the girls all operate the mega ship. Same thing with Lost Galaxy at times. And they couldn't do that here to show like equal equality. They just like, here all the females, the guys are in the back. That is so forced. And I'm not for the forcedness and like the check off list and stuff. What would have been better? You would have both the men and the women operate the spaceship, but then say something happened where one of the females is piloting it and they having to dodge like lasers and they do like a really cool maneuver, or say the warp core engine is like messed up and one of the females run down there and literally almost sacrifices herself to fix it. That is real female empowerment, because you have the guys and the girls working together, and then you have one of the females taking lead. Not all the females piloting the ship as the guys just stand in the back. That was so cringy to watch. Now, as for Amelia, I am jumping for joy that we have a full-time female Red Ranger. We've only had them part-time in the past, only a few episodes, or we'll have like a female leader as like the White Ranger and Alien Rangers, or Jen, who's kind of like overall commander, as a Pink Ranger. But this is the first time we've ever had a female Red Ranger, and I am thrilled and everything. And the actress, her acting got so much better. And I love how they wrote her this season. She's not goofy with the whole believing in ghosts and, and crap like that. Like, she really rose to the occasion to be like a leader and everything, because that's how she was written. And it was so refreshing. Now, I will say that just like with the rest of the writing for some of these characters, she's not as epic as some of the other leaders in the past, like Carter or what's the dude from RPM and the dude from SPD, and like, even Shane and stuff, because she feels very much like a earlier like Zeo, Alien Rangers, Turbo, like Mighty Morphin type like leader, you know what I'm saying? And it's weird to where she just like, she'll like say something, give a couple of orders, do a couple morph commands, but never really take that full on like a Star Trek captain or commander type role, you know what I'm saying? Like some of those other ones did in the past. She doesn't really make those hard command decisions and stuff. But I do appreciate the fact that they did make her a Red Ranger. But sadly, it did come with a demotion of the former Red Ranger. And yes, I don't give a rat's behind what anybody says. That was a true demotion. Now we must get to the whole Zato Zenith Ranger demotion thing. Like I said before, I don't give a rat's behind what anybody says. I have read some comments talking about, it's not a demotion, it's not a demotion, it's a promotion. No, he got demoted again, and then he died again. That is the truest demotions I've ever seen. And the dude's like Afro-Asian, so that's double raced right there. Because we know that Red Rangers that were played by black guys in the past were demoted to have a white person take over as Red Ranger. It has happened so many times when it only comes to that of black men who play Red Rangers, and it happened again. And it's like they did not learn their lessons. It's like, oh, they didn't want to have the black guy wear a white suit, but they're gonna demote him and give his rank to like another like white person. And because he sacrificed himself at the end of Dino Fury season 2. And then he came back as like this Ghost Ranger, White Ranger type thing. And we never knew how. Then we saw him in that suit, only for him to get his butt kicked, demoted again, disgraced again, I should say, and thrown in the portal, and they didn't know where he was at. So he was lost for about an episode and a half. And it's like, really? That's how you're gonna get rid of this man? You're just gonna throw him in the portal? And then when we find him again, his suit's all busted up, and he's inside a tree, healing somehow. Okay, whatever, that was kind of neat. But then he comes back, and they give him the Zenith powers. Why not make him a Purple Ranger? Go with his purple Zord. I don't know. And what is a Zenith Ranger exactly? Like, what exactly is that color? It looks kind of like a muted silvery gold. Well, we already have a Gold Ranger. Why not make him a Silver Ranger? Or something like that. Or purple. Or made him the Orange Ranger or something. But anyways. So he's an additional Ranger, and he's the only one with a cape. So they said it's a promotion, because, oh, now he's the Zenith Ranger. But here's the thing, right? When he came back, why he just didn't become the Red Ranger again? You ever think about that? But no, it's because they wanted a female to have be a Red Ranger. And that is the sad part of all of this when it comes to Amelia, because they should have just went with a brand new cast. And this would not be a debacle and everything, you know what I'm saying? But he comes back, and so you think, okay, well, since he's the newest additional Ranger, he must gonna be very powerful like all the other ones in the past, right? Yes and no. He has a Master Morphin staff and everything, and it's powerful, but he doesn't act powerful. Did you notice? The people keep saying, oh, he's second in command, just like because most additional Rangers are second in command. They take over the second command spot from a blue or a black Ranger. But he doesn't even really do that. Like, you rarely even see him command anything. You don't really see him take charge. I think only one time to get like that Zord, which he just decided to pile on his own. And it's kind of like, okay, well, while all this is going on, why aren't you doing something else like a second in command? They don't even do that. So a demotion again. Then he's not even as powerful as some of the past like 6 Rangers and stuff who can really bust some moves out. He doesn't do any of that because the fighting choreography is really off this season. So that's a demotion right there again. Then it turns out, oh look, he's dying again, because it's like the magic that was used for to bring him back to life is running out, and if he uses that staff or morph, it will decrease his life a whole lot faster. So that's demotion again, because he's literally about to die again. I'm just kind of like, dude, why are y'all doing this to this dude? And he barely shows up in this season. I know Ollie actor was doing a movie, but was he doing one as well? Because he's kind of barely even in the show when he does come back. And it's heroic for him to want to keep fighting and everything and use up his power. But it's like, that's only because it's written like that. And they could have wrote it so much better. And not only that, but, you know, with the whole TJ Andros thing, we all accepted the fact that Andros was from outer space and he knew about outer space, and TJ did not. All right, that was fine and acceptable. But now you have this whole situation where Amelia is the leader. Zato was dead and gone, and she became like, you know, the new Red Ranger. But what about Ion? Like, he's from outer space. he was going to try to take over the Power Rangers team. He's been a knight, so he has skills. But the problem with Ion, he could never take over as leader position or even be second in command. And that is because in Dino Fury, they literally wrote him as a buffoon. And so because of that, they could not make him the leader. But the whole team doesn't have leadership skills. So they literally could have passed it to anybody. But if they really wanted to do the whole, oh, we need a Red Ranger from outer space and knows about space and blah, 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 then they could have got Ion. Or just made Zato again the Red Ranger. But, and so it's just kind of weird. So now I'm not really buying this whole excuse no more of the whole TJ Andros thing. And because, Andros was from outer space, but, those are different writers and creative team. And it's just like, they could have made him the Red Ranger. Like I said before, I'm happy she's red, but it came at a cost. And they should have just went with a new cast. And then not only that, but then I'm all like, why you have to kill this dude off again by him use up his power? And I'm all like, oh wait, Trini died. So that would make the excuse for fans like, why they didn't bring Trini back? Because the magic would have just killed her again. Well, I can give you two good examples of how that's a stupid storyline. One, this is the last Power Rangers series ever until Netflix does whatever they do. So this is the last Saban Power Rangers. Two, what about Kendrix? She died and came back alive. So you mean tell me she's about to die again when the magic runs out? So they wrote themselves in a hole and should have wrote something a whole lot better. And yes, I do feel like he became Zordon at the end, which is kind of weird. But he did become a Morphin Master. So, that's a promotion. You get to die again and be a god? Why can't you live and be a god? You know what I'm saying? And so I do hate the fact that yet again, another black man got demoted. And not only he's black, but he's black and Asian. And he got demoted. Like, come on, man. Like, that's just so messed up. I just wanted to talk about Ion a little bit. Like I said before, I am so glad they did not make him into a doofus, because that was so irritating back in the day when they had him act that way. And I really liked how he cared about Zato and stuff, because that's his closest friend in the entire universe and stuff. And I just really loved how concerned he was, with him overusing his powers and him being don't want his best friend to die, because yeah, he has other Rafconians there and Power Ranger friends, but that's somebody he fought with thick and through many years ago and stuff. And so that was really cool. So with all the stuff I just said, I don't feel like this Power Ranger season ended with a bang, but more of a whimper and everything. And that's really sad for me to say, because I love Power Rangers, you know what I'm saying? But this season did not cut the mustard with me. This season just felt so off on so many levels, from the writing to some of the direction to the pacing to the characters' motivations, because they really this is so weird. Why if they said they only had 10 episodes and they were gonna focus on the stuff that mattered and none of this filler stuff, why did this whole season feel like mindless filler, but with stuff that actually happened when nothing happened as a result? And that's what this season felt like. It should have just been them in every episode trying to conquer Lord Zed, defeating his minions in an epic scale, and seeing them free tons of aliens on different planets and stuff. And that's what it really should have been, in every episode. And then them not able to do it, and then say something happens to one of them, or one of them gets lost, or something like that. And the villains were so silly and goofy. But the whole social media thing, and the slang lingo, and their designs, I'm just my God. This is not how you go out. For me, my camera died. Anyway, for me, even though I was not a huge fan of Dino Fury, at least some of the episodes were good. At least things started to happen towards the end, and it was epic on a scale. This does not feel epic. And my thing is this. If you did not have the budget, if you did not have the time, because this season, it was one of those. It was either this or season 2 of Dino Fury was not supposed to exist. And the only reason why this exists is because the Netflix show was not ready. And now we know the Netflix show ain't gonna be ready for a very long time. And so it's kind of like, okay, look, I understand they had to work on the fly, they had to come up with something. But what they came up with was not that good. The villains were not threatening enough. The Rangers didn't feel like Rangers. They was in their civilian clothes most of the time. And they weren't even in the costume. The reason why they created these ugly outfits is because they wanted simpler toys to make. Well, they're not even in the outfits that much. The Zord battles is really weak, and that's the Sentai footage fault for that. But even the Zord battles were kind of boring and stuff. But there was more stuff going on with the Zords than there was them as Power Rangers. And then that whole CGI Zord fest at the end was kind of like, look, man, look, Simon, if you didn't have the resources and you did not have the costumes ready and, you know, couldn't make this and couldn't make that, then you leave that out the show and you focus on what's important. Okay? Like, that's what you do. You leave out certain characters. Like, yes, that was nice to bring back the android lady and her balls and Ollie's mom, which, by the way, when did Ollie's mom start being an engineer? I don't remember that. But anyway, that was nice they brought her back. And then it's weird because when they go back on Earth, they don't interact with these people. So what was the point of even having them in the show? So you take them out and you only put them in like an episode that's really important, like towards the end, like them getting captured and them getting freed. You know, if you don't have the Void Knight suit, then let her father be captured or something. Because for him not to morph didn't make no sense. And so, like, if you can't bring the mother in, then say she got captured or say she got taken to another planet or something like that. You know, like you get these people off so you have the budget to do stuff, and then you don't do filler. You don't have a Rock Band episode that's pointless. You don't have to get rid of Zato or throw him in a portal. Because having him that don't make no sense. If the Morphin Masters fixed him, then why was he so badly damaged the tree had to like revive him and stuff? Like you see what I'm saying? That was just pointless feeling. I understand you were trying to be epic on the scale, but it was just pointless filler and stuff like that. And there should have been more hand-to-hand combat episodes. Them in their civilian forms and them in their Power Ranger forms. And they don't have to fight with their weapons in every episode. And you don't have to have them say silly things like Fern. Every time she was morphed, I'm like, please shut up. Because I'm trying to like you a lot as an Orange Ranger, the very first. And you really just need to stop saying dumb stuff. And, you know, it's just little things like that that really, really, really irritated me and stuff. Because this episode, or this season, I should say, should have went out with a massive bang. And it really didn't. And I've seen season finales and other Power Ranger shows that were bigger and more epic than all these 10 episodes combined. That is embarrassing and stuff. Like, it really is. Like I said before, these 10 episodes are basically the last 2 episodes of In Space finale. But yet the In Space finale was a whole lot better and stuff. And so for me, my last favorite Power Ranger season is Beast Morphers. And I don't even really want to consider it. Like, I do want to consider it, but I don't. Dino Fury being the last true Power Ranger season because it has its flaws and everything. But as much as I don't like Dino Fury, it's a whole lot better than Cosmic Fury. And reusing the helmets, the Dino helmets, don't make no sense. And not only that, but the helmets weren't even shiny. They had a matte finish to them. You couldn't even polish them up and make them shiny? Where was y'all budget, man? See, the Hasbro screwed. Well, this is the thing. I don't fully blame Simon Bennett. That's not the thing. He is partially to blame because he did create this. But the big blame, the major blame goes to Hasbro. Hasbro, I don't understand. They made a legit Power Ranger season with Beast Morphers. How the heck did they fumble the ball with Dino and Cosmic Fury? I don't understand that. Like, I really don't. My bad. I said that Zed's plan was to reverse the Z Wave. His was actually become a Master Morpher. It's that Squid Lady who betrayed him who wanted to reverse the whole Z Wave thing. And I can't believe she's the one who basically defeated Lord Zed. I mean, how is this dude supposed to be at his most evil and most powerful? He was cool as a Morphin Master, the way he looked and blasting. Murdered the Zords. They're sentient beings. Like, what the world? But their plan was really stupid. To combine their weapons into like a cannon, and oh, that will work. And I mean, come on now. Yeah, it could have probably blasted that machine that gave him the power, but it probably wouldn't have been strong enough. But that Squid Lady, I mean, come on, man. She has a terrible design. She was so annoying, and it's just kind of like you couldn't come up with something better than that. Now, there's one glaring problem I have with the Morphine Masters this season. How in the world do they not know about Zordon? If these people are supposed to be connected to the grid and like know everything there is about like Power Rangers and the forces of evil, and they stay out of people's way, but they keep a close eye just peeking and everything, how in the world do they not know about Zordon? Like, how? I don't understand that. And they literally said they know of no such being. That don't make no sense. It's like, I thought they were supposed to be all knowing and everything, and they're connected to the grid and Power Ranger powers and all this other bull crap, and bringing Rangers back to life and restoring powers and then transporting Rangers from one place to another. How do they not know about Zordon? Seriously, how many Power Ranger powers has Zordon given to teams and stuff? How many Zords has he given to Rangers? Like, yeah, I just don't get it. Oh, I didn't even talk about the Morpher and like, you know, the intro. The intro, I like the theme song, but it's basically the Dino Fury theme song. Like, they couldn't like get new lyrics that didn't sound so similar. The intros are always some of the coolest things, and it just sounds just as similar as the other one. And not only that, but the Morpher. Why the whole Dino theme? I don't get it. The Zords aren't even Dino themed. If they really truly wanted to put some effort into that and create their own suits, the moment they knew they was going to use Zord Sentai footage, they should have mimicked their helmets to mimic that of the Zord's faces. This just feels so weird, random, and bizarre and stuff. And the Morpher is so god huge. It's so god awful huge. Like, it's so big and bulky. And I know there's been some Power Ranger Morphers in the past that have been that bulky, but my god, that thing is big. Okay? It looks kind of cool. I'll give you that. But it takes too long to freaking morph, man. And I'm getting tired of these long morphing sequences where they have to like open up a hatch and pop something in and do this and do that. Like, you would get your behind killed in an instant if you was a real Power Ranger doing all that. Now, the morph sequence is pretty cool. It's all right. It's kind of similar to the Dino Fury one. Why is it when they split it, like say there's two Rangers morphing, right? And they split it. Why are they still using the tiny squares and all that empty space? Why not just do a real split? You know what I'm saying? And oh, back to the whole Zato being like, you know, demoted. When he came back, did he even morph with the team? Like, did he even give the command? Like, did he? As my voice got high pitched, really squeaky just now because I'm just so baffled. Like when he was with Izzy, and they went to go get that Zord, she gave the morph command, not him. Ain't he supposed to be promoted? Shouldn't he give the command? Isn't he a former Red Ranger? Like, it's weird. He took so many commands this season. I understand why Jason did in season 2 because the actor was literally on his way out the door. So they can't have him be the leader and stuff. So they had to make Tommy the leader. But like, Zato just takes commands from like Amelia. Amelia was a Pink Ranger. She wasn't even like second in command and stuff like that in her other season. That's just so weird. He's taking commands from her. And that's just so weird. He never gives a morph call. Izzy did it. I don't get that. Oh, I am happy they brought back that special needs Special Olympics girl. That was kind and sweet. That was so sweet they brought her back, man. I like that. I really did. And oh, I forgot to mention about Ollie's arm and his dad and family. So his family got rescued because they get rescued off screen, and they're really not on a fight sequence that much. And so the dads and them all like, "What happened to your arm?" Okay, first of all, how they know that his arm is missing? How they know he just didn't put on a metal arm or a metal thing to attach to his jacket? They didn't know that, but they just automatically assumed his arm got taken off. And yeah, they're concerned, but they're not concerned. He's all like, "I'll explain later, just forget about it, just go." And I'm like, no, dude, that's not written very well. Like, if you were a real parent, you're gonna be like, "You're gonna tell me right now how you lost that arm." You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think the family knows they're Power Rangers and stuff. And so the whole Ollie's arm, no, not Ollie, Harvey, the whole Harvey arm thing is kind of like, okay, look, I get it, nice attempt, you wanted to go edgy, but you should have went there. You don't dial it back. You don't make him be all like, "Oh, I can't play guitar no more." Well, dude, you just lost your freaking arm. You can't do a lot of stuff right now. Forget playing the guitar and everything. And like, it's just like whenever they want to go a couple of steps forward, they always go a couple of steps back in this season. And that's really sad. I'm so disappointed this season did not end in a big explosive kind of way, man. Because like, freaking, did y'all not remember Lost Galaxy, the finale to that? It was a 3-part episode. That was big and epic. They had big moments, flashy moments, quiet moments, but it was epic and everything. How do you make 3 episodes amazing from another Power Rangers team, creative team, but then on the last creative Power Rangers team, they get 10 episodes and it's just It's just meh. And I'm pissed. I don't mean to be a sourpuss and everything and, just rain on everybody's parade, but I'm very upset, man, because this is the last Power Ranger. I grew up with this. I watched the first season from the first episode. I wanted this to be epic in scale and everything. And it just died on a whimper, in my opinion. It did not feel like a Power Rangers show. I'll tell you that right now. It did not feel like Power Rangers. It felt like something completely different. It literally felt like people attempting to make Power Rangers who have no idea what the heck they are doing and stuff. And that's literally what it is and stuff. Like, what seasons did they watch in the past? I truly believe they only watched like Mighty Morphin, maybe Alien Rangers, maybe Zeo. And those were the seasons that are still good, but they're not as enhanced as the other seasons. When the other seasons started taking on the themes of the Sentai and started making like really like daring moves and everything, and like that was the earlier days when they was just starting to figure out what it was and making it into a teenage kid goofy show with them in high school and stuff. And it's like here, they just did not know what they were doing. And I'm still disappointed in Lord Zedd. This dude was supposed to be evil. And not only was he not that evil, he barely showed up in the season. And how is it he gonna blast Ollie with his staff and Ollie gets knocked down but doesn't die like Trini did from Rita? But he didn't even put a hole in that man's stomach. Ollie had his arm blasted off from a good person's staff. You know what I'm saying? And nothing happens to Ollie. So I'm just kind of like, you can't have Rita killed Trini with a blast, and you can't have Ollie's arm bust open and bust off and everything, but then have Ollie get blasted at point blank range with a staff and nothing happens to him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't make no sense. You just gotta make it make sense. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.